After a lot of adrenaline, planning, and important decision making, my most treasured character comes to life. Welcome to my journey to learn character design fundamentals for the sake of its knowledge and to have my most treasured group called Iridescent breathe into their new form. We're going to start with the main character who also acts as my persona on the channel, Twyla. Hi. The tough spots I want to configure is fashion and expressions, as well as an illustration and a model turnaround sheet. It will be handy for me to have now and of course for the dream-filled future. Let's dive right in. The simplest task, in my opinion, to start with is expressions. If you're new to character design, it is the character's facial expressions. It is one of the ways to display their personality and raw emotions that they may feel. We're going to tackle, at first I want to do 8, but as of the timelapse coming up, I decided to stick with 6 expressions for each character following this one. So, what is TWILA'S personality? She's a very optimistic person, but can easily overthink. She does deal with a form of anxiety, so being calm is something she continually works on. A peacemaker, if you will. And as you can see, I am picking out expressions that I felt at the time were very fitting for her. I was really inspired by Encanto when I first watched it on Disney+, so picking her character expressions really helped me ideate what I wanted Twyla to express. I even snatched up Rhea's to give myself a unique selection. These were found on Pinterest, and I know Pinterest is kind of on the down low when it comes to artists using reference, which is very sad, but with the influx of AI and ads, I can definitely understand why. I will link down below the artboard I have where I found these or search for these in the description below. I have picked 6 expressions now, and with TWILA'S reference, I am ready to start sketching. I did make notes to myself, a generalized list of what type of expressions I want to draw for each character. And it's happy, sad, calm, anxious, surprise, anger, fear, and laughter. At some point I did forget that list a little bit, so I believe some of these expressions for Twyla may be a little more random. However, this is a learning experience while I'm doing this for the first time, so I'll know eventually over time I'll improve, hopefully during each episode. Now you can sit back and relax, and I will resurface when it's outlining time. This is definitely the moment when I felt a lot of excitement coming in. Seeing the face of her in such a calm but cute smile is really motivating me to keep going. And it's a really fun exercise to go through because as you create each expression, you can feel your character come to life in multiple different ways of just natural human emotion. I love art, y'all. I love it so much. I'm so happy to be someone that is passionate about this. And this expression right here, I will go ahead and say is my favorite one because I love drawing happiness or joyfulness. I love making other people happy. So drawing her in such a joyous expression really sealed the deal for me that this was going to be very, very fun. I was very pleased with how the sketches turned out. They're technically outlines now as I colored them black, and now I am filling color into, well, actually only one of them. I wanted to feel like it was more of a finished piece, so that's why there's gray blobs for her, and there is one expression that was set aside to fully color. The whole experience was so fun, and I was just so excited. And now looking back on this, I had her as a character for so long, and to give her some really strong visuals is amazing. And here are her expressions. It was a very joyful ride to draw, and I am so satisfied to this piece, even as I'm currently editing by the time you hear this. It is very lovely to see how much something so fast could come to life in under an hour. The real work, though, is about to begin. So buckle up. We're just getting started. The full body is already in progress, but first I wanted to take a pit stop at outfit creation. I picked various references from Pinterest and some Google searching to compile an outfit. My persona has puffed up sleeves, but I had decided to brainstorm other options and save that component for someone else in the lineup. Her main color is purple, and I always envisioned her in a purple top and navy bottoms. So I need to sketch out different outfit combinations to see what clicks the best with purple. Now that I've drawn less than accurate human bodies, it is finally time to ideate different clothing combinations. To have some fun, I did create a community post to let you decide which outfits suited her best to eliminate personal bias. And with that, all gratitude goes to those who voted. Upon choosing the outfit, I am ready to move forward. And here we are at the most exciting part. To have the pose that I have chosen for the sheet as accurate as possible, I'm using a tracing method where I make sort of a skeleton to understand what the body is doing. Although I believe it's definitely time for me to practice anatomy so that I won't have to use this method for much longer. I intend to create my characters with different body types, and I'm trying my best to emulate a pear shape while also being accurate to the pose as much as possible. So this is definitely where the real turning point is for me mentally. Eventually you're gonna start to see how I kind of struggle with leaving the pose as is while also adjusting the proportions of it later on. Now I'm sketching on the outfit to see how it looks and feels with the pose. This is the turning point I mentioned before. I'm starting to outline TWILA'S face and body, but as I was doing that, something was like, she's a little wide. And this is where my perfectionism started to creep in, unfortunately. And I did realize it as I was editing the pose a bit. But what can you do? You're gonna see the chaos in the moment, but fortunately, making sure TWILA looked like TWILA was already my first priority. Oh no, that perfectionism is setting in again. Woo! We covered a lot in this video. If you want to see the progress of my model turnaround sheet, it will be available as a post on my Patreon. You can also stay tuned on my social media for when the final image is posted. This journey was so fun to make and go through, so thank you so much for coming along with me. It was so fun giving Twyla a visual that represents her and is more than just a half body. I really enjoy seeing how she appears in the modern world because her story is set in the modern world with a hint of fantasy here and there due to her eye color. But nonetheless, while you wait for the new episode, the next video that comes out will be my other series about improving my skills. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to always shine in your beautiful galaxy. And the character for the next episode is